and gentlemen.
You are now tuned in to Mastering Mitzvahs. Mastering Mitzvahs. A podcast focused on creating the perfect bar and bat mitzvah celebration, offering tips, tricks, and trends to ensure an amazing event. Mastering Mitzvahs. From New Jersey's own Explosive Entertainment. Explosive Entertainment.
I know you're gonna dig this.
And here they are, your hosts, Jordan Marshall, Dylan Weissman, and Mike Langzer.
Yeah! Are we really New Jersey's own anymore?
What does it even say, New Jersey's what?
Ladies and gentlemen.
The intro says New Jersey's own.
Well, we
Sorry.
are. Well, I mean, should we be the East Coast own?
I mean, I don't know. We've done so many events not in New Jersey over the last little bit. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Should we be proud that we're from New Jersey too?
I am not from New Jersey. Don't lump me in with you crazies.
I don't even know where to go with that one because we
don't
do
lump me in
talk,
with you crazies.
we do talk our good share about Pennsylvania also. So wow, this is one way to start off the podcast.
We are not fighting today, Mike. We are
No,
here
and
for a good reason.
And I think we only have one viewer at the moment, so
Good, they didn't hear it. I mean, it is live, and that will be posted. I'm not editing it out. We're gonna keep it here.
yes.
So, Mike, we got episode 108. I'm really hoping that we can find some time to muscle up to get these things rolling weekly like we used to. But I'm excited for this episode and the season ahead. I mean, we are as officially into the season as we possibly can. The Rosh Hashanah New Year kind of launches us into this season that we call the Bar Mitzvah season, and I'm excited to talk about today's topic because I believe that it crosses the minds of the majority of our clients and clients in general, which is party giveaways. So I'm super glad that we get to talk about it today.
I'm going to pause you
why
for a
don't we
second.
start
I'm going to pause you. We talk about so many things and so much like in-depth topics here in this podcast. And certainly we're not as regular in our recordings as we used to be, but this topic hits home and some, party giveaways, party favors, party props, you hear all these different terms, but what are we talking about? And I think in today's podcast, we're going to hit a lot of different gamuts. We're going to hit about like the tchotchkes that we hand out, like the glow sticks and the sunglasses and the hats. But then we're also going to talk about the favors that are handed out that parents get, things like printed sweatshirts or t-shirts or sports jerseys or Bluetooth speakers. And we're going to hit this whole gamut. So we got about 30 minutes to talk about all these different things and the pros and the cons. And it's funny that we could probably talk about it for 2 hours, but it's a pretty important piece of the parties. And let's just say this. To not have anything, you're doing the party an injustice. And we have been coming across parties that want to have like a green initiative. I have one in a couple weeks that literally does not want to hand anything out. And I know that's going to be harder for us because we use these things as tools to help motivate and encourage engagement. So you're an MC. I mean, why don't you start from there? Like, what do you do with these things, whether they have a lot of value or little value? What do you as an MC do with them?
Yeah, so the first thing that we'll categorize here is the party favors that we give away on the dance floor, or dance floor favors. You can call them tchotchkes in the old school. You can call them, props and prizes. But these are the hats, the glasses, the LED wands, the glow sticks, the flashing rings, the big marshmallow heads, the LED bows, the things like that. We include in our entertainment packages. And those we use as leverage on a big scale. Most of our party prop kits are 300 to 400 pieces for a 200-person event. And what ends up happening is we use these as a way to ignite the dance floor. I can't tell you the exact science behind why this happens, but people want to party more when they're wearing a neon hat, or when they're wearing, stunner shades, or when they're wearing LED, necklaces. They just want to dance more. And when it comes to appealing to the entire party, these props and prizes are ways that we can help get people closer to the dance floor. if I were to give it like a scientific method, even though I said I don't have a whole lot of science behind it, by having a dancer or myself come out with, a pile of things that blink and glow, and I'm standing on the dance floor ready to give it to you, you're automatically going to draw closer to the dance floor. And the more likely you are to be drawn closer to the dance floor, the more likely it is that you're going to dance your way there. So it kind of ignites your party in a different way. So these are absolutely necessary tools to help our team move through the event. And we do a really good job in our trainings to teach our dancers and our MCs the appropriate times, the appropriate types of songs, and the appropriate ebbs and flows to give this stuff out. It's not like we open up the party and then they're just all out there. We use them in like pockets to ignite different aspects of our dance floor and to have different levels of energy and charisma. They go a long way. As a DJ, what do you see with these items? Because you see it from like a 10,000 foot scope, watching it all on the unfold.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is I just see a mess. I mean, my DJ booth, I'm very particular about having a neat, organized DJ booth. I just see a mess. But the reality is, I see like the crowd go crazy when you hold something over your head and say, who wants to win this? Whatever it could be. It might be a $50 item or a $5 item. That's where I think it's almost indifferent what it is, but just who wants to win this thing, and the kids go crazy. Certainly when that thing has a big ticket value to it, we try to hold it off to the end and encourage more participation to do it. And you know what, like Dylan, it's almost like you use, not even at bar mitzvahs, just in life, in motivation, in school,
it's leverage.
Yeah. Like who wants to win, a free vacation? You got to perform well at work or whatever it is. So, we're taking the 5 hours of a party, and who's going to be the best guest today at this party is going to win this prize. One of the things I wanted to talk about, interestingly, was the size of the prizes, though. Is it easier or better to hold up a little gift card in your hand that you as an MC can then throw back in your pocket? Or do you want that giant stuffed animal or giant football jersey or something? What are your thoughts on that?
So let's move now and categorize this as these are more prizes. This isn't something that's typically included in a DJ package. Like for us, we're bringing the dance floor giveaways. But these are items that I think the trend is that families are going out and buying, $50 or $100 worth of Five Below items or something like that. So I coach my families in our planning meetings that if you want some extra leverage, extra spunk, extra something to the event, that's more than just something that everyone's going to get, whether it's glow sticks or necklaces or glasses. If you want that premium level prizes to kind of help you along the way, I love when they go out and get the big oversized, king size candy bags from Five Below. It's $5 and you get a huge thing of Swedish Fish or the Sour Patch Kids. I love when they bring out the posters. I love when they do the big Bluetooth speakers. A lot of families choose sometimes to go get like gift cards, and it's not nearly as fun to see someone hold a gift card, where I'd rather you spend the same $50 that you would have spent on 10 gift cards and do it at Five Below and get me big candies and Bluetooth speakers and LEDs for the kids' rooms. Stuff like that goes a lot further and looks cooler.
And that's interesting. I'm going to pause you for a second. Somebody that we know really well that does a lot of MC training, he insists on small things like gift cards because he could put it in his pocket. Like he could tease it, hold it up over his head, who wants to win this, and then quickly put it back in his pocket, get back into the dance set. And he said after a while, it's almost like the audience is like Pavlov's dog when he literally could just put his hand in the air with nothing and they react. So it's interesting. You like the larger, more tangible products, and he likes the smaller, discrete items. I think there's probably advantages to both.
Yeah, I guess I always felt that it's more fun to give away something than to give away something that looks like cash.
Right.
Like it's so much more fun I'm going to share something with you guys. It's so much more fun to look at an MC that's giving away a mini skateboard
Right.
than it is to give out a gift card. And I guess that's where my brain is going on it, right? I'd rather see kids go nuts for the in this case a skateboard or an oversized bag of candy or a poster, because it's fun to give that stuff out. And it's fun to watch it being given out, where as a gift card, I see the functionality of it being like simple for an MC to use, but I don't know. I guess for me, it's kind of funny to give a kid cash, which is
Right.
essentially what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I like that. Now I want to talk about a few different things here. I'm all over the place mentally with this because the picture makes me think what items are good items to give out, what items are not good to give out. Do you want to give out a skateboard at the beginning of the party and risk the chance that that the winner and or his friends are going to end up skating up and down the hallways and possibly hurting themselves? I would not
Right.
give that out as a performer until the very, very end of the night. Just like basketballs or soccer balls or anything that can be thrown and bounced, and we're gonna really insist to stay away from those types of items.
I know that families like matching up their themes with the giveaways. Like if you're having a soccer theme, you want to give out the mini soccer balls. If you give that to us, I promise you we're not giving that out until the last 30 minutes. It's just a bad idea from an entertainment perspective, from a safety perspective, from these kids will use them as dodgeballs perspective. So I know that for me, I like the stuff that is fun, but they can put it away and not need it right then and there, like the posters, like the big bags of candy. And even if they open up the big bags of candy, that's not going to destroy your party or get someone hurt.
But pause there for a second. You said put them away, so let's digress for just a quick second. I think a family needs to evaluate: do the kids have a cubby, a seat, or a lounge? Like, what is the scenario? So if somebody wins this giant stuffed animal or football jersey, what are they doing with it then? Are they holding on to it the rest of the night, or can they put it in their secure space if they have one? So
Yeah,
the
like a
point being
cubby
here,
or an actual seat.
yeah, the point being here, families, when you're planning your party, make sure that if you're giving away cool stuff that has a value, make sure that you have a place for the kids to put it, because chances are if they put this football jersey in the corner, somebody else might pick it up and walk away with it. Sadly, but it could happen. So, different if it's put at their seat or in their cubby with their name on it.
Right. So I would say that there's obviously the dance floor giveaways. These are the hats, the glasses, the beaded necklaces, the things that blink and glow, the LED bracelets, things like that. That is going to be the thing that goes to the majority of the people. That's typically included in your entertainment package. And it goes a long way. It's great impact. Then you have what I would call an intermediate, basically a one step up. This is your 5 and below or your gift cards. I love the idea of taking a 13-year-old on the week of his bar mitzvah to 5 below and say, here's $100. Go find stuff that your friends are going to love. That gives the ownership to the kid, because then they're picking out stuff that they think their friends are going to love. And then it kind of makes them intrigued to watch it be given out at their event. So I think there's a lot of value there. Then there's one step past that, which are like your basketball jerseys, the slides, the oversized slippers. That stuff is like a premium level. And what I've seen a lot of the trends recently is families will go on like Alibaba and order 25 or 30 basketball jerseys. They're the fake ones, but they're stitched. This is really, really big and has a massive impact on your celebration. But I do have a caveat to it, Mike.
I know you do. I was waiting for you to bring this one out because I know recently you had an instance that was difficult.
Yeah. So let's talk about the fact that while it's amazing to have this stuff, there is kind of this tipping point where once you have really cool stuff, you have too much of it. And what ends up happening is I had a family recently who had 30 basketball jerseys. They had 12 dozen branded t-shirts. They had flip-flops. They had slippers. They had gift cards. They had 5 below stuff. They had, I would say, 600 premium pieces, plus the stuff that we had to give away from the dance floor giveaway perspective, like the hats and the glasses. We no longer were able to be dancers anymore. And the kids were no longer, or the adults or the guests in general, weren't able to just enjoy their time on the dance floor with their friends. They were just more worried about what are they going to get next. And I think that we got to a tipping point where it was just too much stuff. Our dancers weren't having fun doing their job anymore because all they were doing was running back and forth from the DJ booth, taking out more stuff. And the kids were no longer worried about dancing or listening to the great music or hanging out with their friends. They were worried, am I going to win the jersey now? Or am I going to get a pair of flip-flops? I think too much is a real thing.
So,
Mike, what are your thoughts?
Well, years ago, everybody used to get a T-shirt, a sweatshirt, a gym bag, whatever. But it was hanging at the back of your seat. And like that, or it wasn't distributed to the very end of the party. On your way out, grab your favor. It's sort of become trendy now to give them to the DJ and have the DJ just at random throw them into the audience. I don't love it. For the reason that you said, one, is then we just become prop giver outers. Is that a word?
Yeah.
No, I'll use that as a word.
Yeah, prop giver outers.
Okay. And two, say you get 25 shirts. You have more than 25 guests. People get left out. And just recently I did a party. Grandma comes over. Can I get a T-shirt? Of course you can, Grandma. No problem. Well, we give it to Grandma. I need a second one, a third one, a fourth one. And, at what point do you say no to Grandma? And she's not the person in the room you want to, upset. But, if we have 25 shirts, we have very recently this happened. We had 25 shirts. We had 200 plus guests and Grandma wanted 6 of them. What do you do?
Right. So I think that you have to know if everyone's getting the same thing, like a sweatshirt or a pair of pajama pants or a gym bag or something like that, they should be either laid out at the end of the night for the kids to get on their way out, or hanging on the back of their chair in the cubby labeled with their name. That way you can assure that they get them. Then you have another level of stuff that you give away. And here's where you get to leverage your buying power as a client. You're going to get this printed by a print shop, right? You're going to get the logo printed on the sweatshirt. They now have already charged you for that logo to be set in the design. You can then say, I also want it printed on t-shirts, and there's no more setup fee anymore. Like you can just throw it on the t-shirts. You're just buying the t-shirts now. Or you can throw it on sweatpants. You can throw it on more stuff. So that's a great way to, everyone's going to get the gym bag, but I'm also going to print 25 sweatpants and it's going to be cost effective for me. So I love that.
Yeah. It all just needs to be done within reason. Whenever it became cool for the DJ to throw all this stuff out in the audience, I don't know. I mean, like the idea of picking it up on your way out and it's still being folded neatly, go backwards. You got to ask yourself, do you want the guests wearing them at the party too? Maybe you do, cool. Maybe you don't. If you're looking for your photos to be fun and silly, then sure, let all the kids wear these t-shirts that are probably oversized. And, you're wearing a t-shirt, a girl's wearing a t-shirt over a dress. Like it looks silly. You wouldn't dress that way in public typically. Do you want your photos to look like that? Or do you want your photos to be, the girl in her dress without said t-shirt and then hand the t-shirt out at the end?
So let's talk about a family that did it really, really well. There was a family, the Liebersfeld family. We've talked about them here before. And here's a photo from their event. What you see in this photo is a number of things. And I'll describe it for our listeners. But right now we have the bat mitzvah girl holding a premium prize, a basketball jersey they bought from wherever they bought it from. The kids are going crazy for them. In the background, you have the dancers wearing the logo of the shirt that every kid is getting a sweatshirt of later. So again, they leverage their buying power to use the same print that they're going to have on their sweatshirt later for all the kids, but they gave it to the dancers to wear on their shirt. So now they're branded as a part of the party. Mm-hmm. Then if you look at the crowd, you have kids wearing the neon hats that we give away, but then the family also had the logo printed on like a couple dozen baseball hats, trucker hats. So you see the kids wearing that as well. This was an awesome and tasteful way of diversifying the things that we're giving away, but still keeping it within reason where the kid felt like a star because they got to give it out to their friends, but it wasn't like we couldn't do our job well. Mike, do you remember this? Because it was so much fun watching it unfold.
I mean, I was a little bit in a blur at this party musically, like keeping that rock concert vibe going. But yeah, the party was electric from start to finish.
So
And
this
the
is
branding, I should just say the branding was on point, like across the boards. And I think we did a whole episode on branding a while ago, but just using that logo and putting it everywhere makes great sense. And really,
Yeah.
I think it makes the party more memorable.
Yeah, I love when families do that. I think that the trend now is really more than not families are having the dancers and the event staff wear the branded shirts. I think that it lets the kids know that this is what they're competing for later. It makes them feel cool when they win it. So I think that there's more to just party giveaways, and it's a little bit more systematic than you think it is, in that it could brand your event in a really tasteful and fun way where the logo is on the screens and it's also on your event staff, and then it's also being thrown out to your kids. It really ties the theming together. And just imagine for a moment that your kid's going to buy into his theme or her theme. This is just one more way to help them celebrate that. So
Right.
I don't know. I think it's great.
So Dylan, you gave 3 categories before. Your first category was the quote unquote tchotchkes that we hand out, the sunglasses, hats, glow sticks. The next category was the Five Below or the gift cards. Then the premium category was the jerseys or more substantial items like Bluetooth headphones or I remember giving away Dr. Dre Beats headphones. We've given away
Right.
Apple earbuds. But I think you blended this third category. I just want to separate. Those are the prizes. The things I just mentioned are the prizes. But then there's giveaways like that. I'm going to call prizes and giveaways different things. The giveaways are everybody's getting a hat, everybody's getting a sweatshirt, or everybody's going to go home with some article of clothing. That to me is a giveaway and needs to be considered. Should it be a toss out by the DJ or should it be a organized take home? And that allows you to also do things sized appropriately. I think that's a big piece. If we're tossing t-shirts down the crowd, it's pretty haphazard. They're either all medium size or they're all large. But if a family wants to create a shirt that the kids are probably more likely to wear, they should be sized accordingly for the age or build of that child. And just their names should be on them with labels. They should grab them as they go.
Yeah. Well, remember, your kid is going to there's no better feeling than when the kid shows up on Monday and 10 or 15 of their friends show up in their swag that they won that weekend.
And that's more
in
likely
school.
to have if it fits right, looks right, isn't overdone. The
If you
logo
want-
could be discreet.
Right. If you want everyone to get it, it is our recommendation that there's a more systematic way to give it out. Don't give it to the DJ and the dance staff to then give out to everyone. There's almost a guarantee that either someone is missed or the sizes are wrong. So I think that's a great tip that we need to keep on our radar when we plan these things.
Yeah, and I want to shout out some of our friends that are checking in here. We got Max, Evie, Cindy, Andrea, lots of great explosive friends and fans here, which it's just awesome to see you guys back here. Sorry we're not as regular with these podcasts again.
So Cindy goes, it's a favor. If everyone's getting it, it's a party favor. If we're using it as leverage for an event, in terms of on the dance floor, so the kids are dancing or are excited about the games and contests, that's a giveaway. So I think that's a great
or a prize. Giveaway,
Right.
prize, and favors are really 3 different categories.
I agree. This is really good stuff, and I think that families have an opportunity to elevate their celebration in a really meaningful way without overdoing it. If I were to take my best guess, and I think I'm probably gonna screw it up because I'm definitely not I definitely don't order these things like someone like Cindy from Simply Invitations does. But you should have a favor for everyone, and then those premium giveaways figure a third of the kids should get them. So that means like if you have 100 kids, maybe 30 prizes. And then in terms of like the dance floor stuff, like the hats, the glasses, the LED stuff, the DJ will always bring, or at least from our team, the explosive team will always bring the right amount of things for the size of the event.
You know what? I'm also thinking about adult versus kid. And when it's given out in an organized fashion at the end, you know, if somebody's name's on it, it's very clear that these are for this group of people. But when it's, you know, haphazard, that's when, again, grandma comes over and asks for 5 of something. And, you know, my big tip here is for the host family, if you want to set aside select items for the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the whatever it is, especially yourselves too. Don't bring all 25 to the party and expect that, you know, you're going to get some. You know, put them aside before you even show up at the party.
Yeah.
And maybe tell grandma, tell the aunt and uncle, hey guys, don't try to win these things because I have, you know, a separate assortment at home for you. You know, I think that's a really big standout tip that should happen.
Yeah, I can't tell you the amount of times that families either forget. If you give it to us, it's going out. So right. I can't tell you the amount of times that it's happened where families come up at the end of the night. Do you have any more sweatpants? No, we gave them out, right?
We did our job. We handed them out. I've actually, this is gross, but I'm going to actually say it. I've actually had families say, can I get the dancer shirts back because I don't have any for my family? And we're sweaty and gross. Like, and they said, we'll go home and wash them. I'm like, really?
All right, I guess.
Okay. So yes, put them aside at first, leave them at home, designate them for key people in the family.
Right. I love it. I agree. I feel like there was more tips that we talked about pre-show that we're missing. So I feel like we just got to like double back a little bit as to what it is that's important. And I think it's just knowing your family and knowing that, you got to get the right stuff. If the kids are like really big gamers and whatnot, then maybe you go and get like the Xbox gift cards. You know, that will go further than a t-shirt maybe. So I think there's a lot more thought that has to go into your giveaways than just, I'm going to go buy a bunch of basketball jerseys or I'm going to go buy a bunch of soccer balls.
Funny, I'm going to say the opposite. And my tip is going to be, don't get lost in this. Like, it's important, but it's not the end all be all. Like, you know, you as a family who have a billion things going on planning the party, don't get lost in the minutia of this. You know, you don't have to ask how many hats, how many shirts, how many sunglasses you're handing out. Like, if you trust your entertainment company to do a great job, they should bring enough. They shouldn't chintz on what they're handing out. And, you know, what you're ordering is certainly important, but don't lose your mind over it. I mean, that's my tip. It's, you know, whether we give out the Starbucks gift card, the iTunes gift card, or, you know, the Amazon gift card, it doesn't matter.
Right. Let's think. Was there anything else that we really wanted to cover about this stuff?
No, I listen, I think that this podcast is actually, you know, ready to be wrapped up. I think that we hit all the important points. Your biggest point from a most recent event is don't have too much because it's hard for us to continue doing our jobs if all we're doing is giving things out. And then I'm also going to say, I think I started with don't have too little because these are strategic tools that we have to participate, motivate, and, you know, accomplish the goal.
Yeah, man. Giveaways are more a part of your party than ever. So, if you have more questions, ask your entertainment companies, ask your event coordinators, ask the people who are in the thick of it what works, and we'll tell you what's popular and what's trendy right now. Because who knows? We talked about basketball jerseys and sweatpants and pajama pants a lot on this podcast, but in 6 months from now, who knows what's going to be popular? So we keep on top of the trends and you know, definitely use us as a resource.
Cool. Well, let's tie this one up. Episode 108. We're going to put the promise out there. We're going to do these podcasts again more religiously and more regularly. Happy New Year to all of those of you who are celebrating. And we'll see you back here in a week or two.
Peace.